Boys, we are back with another video. I appreciate everyone's patience. I've been sick this past week, but I am hoping to be live tomorrow morning for the Duet Night Abyss live stream. And that's what I wanted to talk about real quick because we got some pretty cool news from Duet Night Abyss. So if you can see right here, it says 15 million global pre-registrations reach. Now, how many were real or not real? I mean, I don't really know, but it does seem that the hype for this game is pretty active. And I will say, I was a little iffy at first, but I was going over the live stream again and just going through some information and watching gameplay, and my hype is there. My hype is there. I'm actually very excited to play this game. We will be playing it the day it drops. So, we're going to be getting tons of rewards. Here's a visual representation of it. So the pristine hourglass, please elaborate if you're aware in the comments or try to do some research. I don't know what the new uh use for these would be, because to my understanding, I mean, from what I've Googled and I saw in other videos, it showed that the pristine hourglass is supposed to be the premium currency. However, we now know, based off of this whole live stream, that all the characters will be free and their weapons will be free. The weapons you'll forge and the characters you'll grind for with no stamina restrictions. So I'm not too sure what they're going to do with the pristine hourglass, but you're getting 20 of those. And we are getting a free character, Benicia. Benicia. And so this is actually Bernicia's gameplay, and she looks pretty good. Shout out to Mello. I believe this is Mello's video. She actually looks fire, first of all. But she seems to be super big on mid-air attacks. So this is her ult, and then bam, she's going in air. Now, keep in mind, we went over this in the previous video. On the bottom right-hand side, you see the numbers dropping to 188. This is their bar that is really going to determine you being able to spam your abilities. So every attack she does, it's bringing it down by a certain amount. Pretty basic stuff, and they're actually going to show her in gameplay here. So off rip, we get a free character, and as we all know, there is no more rarity. So if this was considered a 4-star previously, it has been brought up to 5-star quality along with their weapon. So being able to just log into the game and get a character that looks pretty sick is a massive W. So I'm very happy that they were able to hit the 15 million pre-registration so we can get her off rip. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's very possible that these pristine hourglasses are going to be for the gacha actual outfits, right? So if the outfits are gacha and you have to use these pulls, I think that's fine. I don't believe these outfits are going to provide any type of stat increases or anything like that. So you're getting, 5, 10, 20, 20 free pulls, right? Based off of this tweet right here. So yeah, 20 free pulls. I see this as a W. And to be honest with you, with all of the commotion that's been going on, I'm just gonna let this video rock while we yap for a little bit. Again, shout out to the homie Mello. With all the commotion going on, where there's no content and games and whatnot, seeing Duet Night Abyss pretty much take away their gacha and allow you to infinitely farm and play the way you want to play. You could either buy your character outright or you can grind fragments. Now, actually, I'm going to pause this for a moment. In this live stream, they showed it. It's subject to change, obviously, but I believe it is 30 fragments to acquire a character from what I saw. So if we go back a little bit right here,
就是
bam.
角色碎片，刚才听下来就是一个一个的买，意思是如果说
I
我刷
have
碎片
this
刷了
on
一半，那剩下一半我可以
double
搬家就行了。
time
对
speed
对对，这个
right
理解没有问题。
now.
就是我们在界面里面在合成的
On
时
the
候可以看到
bottom
右下
right,
角，
you'll see a progress bar. So it shows right here, showing
你
how
这会
many
有显示当前这个角
fragments
色已经获得碎片的进度。比如
you've
说，如果你把它合
collected,
成出来之后，你还需要花
and
费
the
的钱。
remaining
当你刷取
cost
碎
to
片越多
unlock
的
the
时候，
character fully. So yeah, it seems to be about 30 fragments. Now, the acquisition of these is how many we'll get per dungeon run. They're not called dungeons, but when you're farming for the unit, we're not necessarily sure. But I mean, if I have to run an activity for, let's say, 30 times to acquire a completely free character, am I really going to complain? Yes, I doom post. That's what I do. I'm a gotcha grifter. I'm a GG. So that in itself is pretty cool. And just overall, yeah, my hype for this game is there, brother. Like, I'm really, really genuinely excited for all the changes that they're making. And I think it also just shows how confident they are right now, right? For them to just completely break the mold and be able to do something different in the anime gacha genre is fire. Now, to my understanding, I was rewatching that dev live stream just to kind of freshen up on the info. I believe there is still going to be constellations for the characters. Um, Again, please correct me if I'm wrong, but that's something that I'm not really necessarily mad about. And actually, if it's there, I wouldn't mind it, specifically for the fact that since you can just continuously grind over and over again, if you find one main that you like this little furry homie called Outsider who looks like he's been listening to Hollywood Undead 24/7, Undead! Like, if you like this guy and you're able to grind out multiple constellations of him to make him powerful, that's just adding another layer of things you can do. It's probably not going to be required, or I'm hoping the balancing of this game is not going to require you to get these further said constellations, but that's something to keep an eye out for. And this is why I just found in the stream real quick why I think the constellations are still around. I just want to play this for you right here. Again, it's on 2x speed. I'll just read it real quick. So it says, how are we going to handle that going forward? They're talking about premium banners.
剧会怎么调整啊？因为我们现在所有
And
角色都是
since
免费
all
了，所以在
characters
我
are
们游戏里
free
面就
now, rate up banners aren't just a thing
没有这个 up 的
anymore.
这个概念了。所有角色在10
All
周
our
之后
playable
就可以
characters will
一直通
always
过
be
密函获取，它
available
不存
through
在说
covered
进入密函
missions. They'll be farmable and suddenly not. So again, the great thing about this system is if they drop a character tomorrow, you know, I know they just saw a live stream just happened. Cyrene or whatever that weirdo's name is, she's there for a month and then she's gone. And even a month is a long time for a gacha character, which when you think about it, it's pretty crazy. These characters are not going to disappear. There is no rate up banners anymore. So it says, like we said before, secret letters don't cost anything. So the characters unlocked don't cost anything either. This way you can keep leveling them up all the way to max Intron. So that's why I'm assuming that the constellations still exist. And again, if that's the case, that's not something I'm particularly mad about or anything. Again, gives you something else to kind of grind for, you know? So overall, we are looking at a pretty hype upcoming release. And so I'm curious to see what they'll confirm on tomorrow's live stream. Again, if I feel good enough, I'll get up and do it. But I haven't been pushing myself. I want to try to feel as good as possible when this game drops because we got to be grinding. But yeah, man, the gameplay also just looks fun. I think I was really doubting it at first, but now that I'm absorbing all the information again and watching it over, it's I'm hyped. I am hyped, and I'm also excited for the fact that there is no stamina. I think that's the part that's really dragging me in. You know, the fact that I can sit down and if I want to play this game for 50 hours, I could do it. And that I'm praying this game is super successful monetary wise so other mobile gacha games can copy this format and have gacha elements such as a banner but for cosmetics or constellation systems but acquisition that is free in order to really help shift the market. So with that being said, boys, I love you, and no stream today. I'm gonna go to bed after in a couple minutes, but I see you guys in the next one.